Hi guys, Volkswagen here, and you listening to Hiding at Home. And well, it's another episode of Anyway. Yay! Well, I don't think I have that much today to say during this week. I don't think that anything exciting or interesting, at least to me, happened. Besides a couple of my personal things, which I'll just elaborate a bit further. Obviously, there was recently this tragedy in New Zealand, and my condolences to all the victims and their families. Well, I hope such incidents wouldn't happen in the future, but obviously we are living in the world where all these terrible things are still keep on happening, and so we just all need to be strong and rational. So I would like to share a bunch of my personal news, and some of them are positive, some of them not, so I'll just try to be kind of short with this, and I'll also share something with you which I still find interesting, and I'll elaborate a little bit more. First of all, now I have an assistant, which is so exciting at work. I will be able to do way more stuff, me and my assistant, and now we will be a real team, so we'll beat the shit out of all the tasks that we have. So exciting. Another thing, well, I'm going on a short trip next week. I'm going to Copenhagen, and I think it's gotta be awesome. I'm going for 4 days, and I'll be back exactly in about a week or so. So I'll probably will have some footage from the city, and I'll maybe make something kind of a vlog. Yeah, well, I don't know whether the YouTube still needs more of a travel vlog or something like this, but anyway, I'll still will explain my experience, and will tell you what have happened there. Maybe there will be something else exciting happening in the week, so I'll just tell you of obviously something in addition to what I've experienced. And if I'll shoot something cool, I'll just show you. Maybe if it's not cool, I'll still show you. Yeah, because why not? And maybe the third thing, I think I kind of have this waves of inspiration. Let's start from there. And when I initially started working on Hiding at Home podcast, on the video version. So initially I started working on audio way back in 2016. So on video thing, it's actually started in October. I think on the very first day of October. That was when I put out the first video. And it should have been a longer form of the podcast, which just speaking with people, usually have a guest. Because I feel kind of not necessarily tiring, but a bit of a useless to just speak for an hour from myself, not doing anything besides just speaking. Well, maybe I will have something that interesting to present you that I need the whole hour to present this. I guess I will be comfortable doing that, but this is not the case. That's why we have the shorter form of the Anyway. And as I started, I have this waves of inspiration, and as you may already know, I also have another hobby, which is writing, and currently I'm on the wave of writing, so I really feel like creating some new stories, continuing working on my book, and I just don't really feel like I having fun making videos right now. Yeah, obviously I know people who see my videos would say, well, it doesn't seem like he's putting a lot of time in making those videos, but still anyway, it takes me 2-3 hours of work at the end of the day, so I need to shoot it. I usually shoot 1 or 2 times, 2 times, maybe 3 times sometimes, when I really mess up with the whole positioning of the camera and stuff. I needed to make a setup. It doesn't really take that much time, still it takes time. I need to think about what I'm going to talk about. It's not even, it's all it does look like. I'm just improvising. I'm actually improvising. But I still need to find what to talk with you about and what's actually happening in the world, or what am I going to present. So I don't know, I don't feel like doing this recently, not because I don't get the support. Like, I really appreciate all the support that you give me, and on every video, and on every video I see that people are interested. I'm just not necessarily tired, I just don't feel inspired. I'm kind of a person who needs the inspiration for the stuff, and that's for everything, for work, for life, for hobbies. And this is my hobby, and writing is my another hobby. So you may have seen that I started the third season of the podcast, and after 2 episodes it didn't go anywhere. And it's not necessarily because I didn't have people to record with, it's more about, like, I wasn't really motivated, inspired. I would say inspired. Motivated is like if someone needs to motivate me, but it's more of an inspiration thing. So I didn't feel inspired to go through all this process again. It's just like even texting people and finding people to record with. Like, I have 2 people on hold, and I already recorded a part of the bigger podcast with a guy called Diego. I'm not sure if he's watching, but hi Diego, if you're watching. So it should have been a bigger podcast, that's why it's not put out yet. But seeing as I'm already less inspired doing this, not just because I don't get feedback or something, but it's more of a I'm not there now, I'm not here now, just for inspiration part. That's why I have a deal with you guys. So if you think that I should put out that video with Diego, write a comment, and if I'll have, I don't know, maybe 10 comments saying that yes, we need video with Diego, I'll put out video with Diego, and maybe in the future I'll just make the second part of that video, which would be a bigger topic, what I want to talk about. So let's make this kind of interaction, and you decide. Because like everything's kind of ready, I just need to quickly edit it, and it can be out. So that's it. But my rant about my personal things is not the only thing you'll learn from this video today, because I want to speak about this great book called Creativity Inc. By Ed Catmull, who is one of the founders of Pixar, and this is a really good book. I haven't really finished it yet, I'm probably halfway done with it, but if you ever interested in the story of success of one of the biggest, probably the biggest, and the most well-respected animation company in the whole world, which is working with Disney, which has a lot of awesome films like Toy Story, my favorite, Toy Story 2, that's where it all started for me. Incredibles, Wreck-It Ralph, Inside Out, Up, a lot of them, number of them. You just must read this book. It's really exciting, and besides just learning the story and how it all developed, it's not like a biography or autobiography of the person who created the company. It's more about learning lessons, how Ed actually learned while managing the company, because he didn't have any business education. He was just computer engineer, and like not just computer engineer, he was one of the first people to create animation, graphics, computer. So he's not just engineer, he was one of the pioneers in this field. And they also really wanted to make the animation film, and they made it. So it's a story about making dreams come true. It's a good lesson for all the new managers and current managers and people just working with other people, just to know how to deal with a lot of problems and to work together and how to work on those projects. And well, there are a number of the interesting stories that they happened so far with them, and well, one of them is I don't know where to start. Let's say the work of the brain trust. I think that's the most interesting lesson that you may learn on how to give a feedback. So let's say they have this brain trust, which is 5 people, 5 of the best storytellers. One of them is John Lasseter. Well, one of the also, I think he's kind of one of the directors of Pixar as well. And 4 other guys. Sorry, I don't remember the names of all of them. I know one is Brad Bird, one is Andrew, another is Michael, and there was Lucas, I think. I don't remember their surnames, unfortunately. But Ed, like one of the founders of the Pixar, he wasn't in that brain trust. So it was only for storytellers. And they've been working the stories the following way. So one of them is presenting the story, and other people thinking about that and like, okay, I think here is the weak point. Like, they're not necessarily saying how to fix the problem. If there is a problem, they're mostly questioning. They're questioning, okay, if it's like this, then maybe we should make something different, or it doesn't feel good. It feels like, let's say there was a point with which film it was? I think it was in The Incredibles. So it felt like one character was intimidating the other, but actually it wasn't the context of the whole scene. So they needed to change it somehow or take the scene out. And then another person came up with a solution on how to do this, and now it felt all right, even though without changing any lines of the scenario. And this kind of a workflow between 5 people, it actually was really built on being candid and being honest on anything. So if you can candidly speaking about some stuff with your team, with whom you work on some kind of a project, that will help you to solve a lot of problems. Like, the team working on one project should really be like one super organism or something. So you all need to think of how to make the project better. It doesn't matter whose idea it is, it doesn't matter who is the lead on the project. The only thing that matters is to crush the project in the end. And in order to do this, everybody should be open to feedback and open to give feedback and give honest feedback about something. And only by doing this and not just saying that, oh, you're wrong, you need to do it this way. So not to be an authoritative, but to be in complementary. So you need like, okay, that's good, but maybe if we add this, or maybe if you think of that, or maybe I feel that maybe a problem with this. And only by pointing some things out, you may show other people that there is some other way to do things better. And by pointing this out, you can actually have a more successful working relationship and more successful project in the end. Which I think is a great lesson to learn, and it's really working in every part of your life, working, everyday life, studying, whatever, anything, any project, any hobby, whatever you do with other people, you should use this kind of a giving feedback system. So this is one of the lessons I learned from the book. I'm looking forward to finishing it. I think there will be way more things that I can tell you and we can all learn from it. And as always, leave a comment, smash a like, subscribe. Let me know whether you want to see Diego's video or you want to wait until I finish the bigger podcast thing. And yeah, was all yours as always.